Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to turn our attention to Bulldog Volleyball, joined by head coach Tia Brandel-Wilhelm. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Oh, great. Thanks for having us.
Hard to believe we're getting later in the year. 4 matches left here in the regular season, and the fall's kind of flown by.
It flies by. The whole year has just flown by. Yeah, for sure.
Got to be pleased with the way your team has really progressed over the course of the year. A lot of young kids that have got kind of better and better as the year has went on.
You know, it's important to stop and think about that every now and then, because you know, we're always just trying to, make that next step and get better. And, we always just see all the things that need to be better and places that we got to improve. But I think if we step and look back at the big picture of the last, 7-8 months, like, it's been a pretty incredible growth.
Of course, this past weekend on the road, two very tested matches against some very good competition in Wayne State and Grand Valley.
Yep, very much. Going into the weekend, those two were 2 and 3 in the conference, and just super tight, and we had some good results and not good results, but it was, we knew it would be a big weekend and 2 really good volleyball teams.
As we start off the weekend here on Friday night at Wayne State, and always a tough place to play going on the road to Detroit.
Yeah, it is. It's fun because we get a lot of fans in Wayne State, and a lot of our campers and alumni and stuff will make the trip. So that part is kind of fun to have a good crowd there.
Of course, got off to a great start here, and we'll win this opening set. Maybe talk about what your team did well here in this match against the Warriors.
Gosh, it feels like a long time ago, but I thought we were aggressive in the balls that we sent over the net, offensively and serving wise. I thought that we were pretty aggressive.
Got a 26-24 win in the opening set, and came back. You knew Wayne State was going to battle, and they certainly made all 3 of these sets very competitive.
Yeah, I think in the second set, we got on a little bit of a run, but then they came back in. They made a few errors that were a little bit uncharacteristic of them, and so they came back in, but we had a little bit of a cushion at the beginning, and then the third set was just different. It was just a lot of back and forth, and just trying to figure out that set as we went. For sure, it was a lot different.
How does it change it playing Wayne State here for the second time as you see these conference opponents the second time around?
I think it's tough, right? We play not even just second time around, but we play each other 2 or 3 times, sometimes 4 in the postseason every year. So you really you spend a lot of time getting to know the athletes and the systems, and it definitely makes the games a little bit different than when you're playing outside the conference.
Here, a big point as you win it in a sweep, 3-0, and a great way to kind of start off the weekend. Kind of an unusual weekend playing at Wayne State, and then having to come back to play Grand Valley.
Yeah, it's a lot of travel actually, but it's just kind of what we have to do. But there's some pretty good travel moments in there in our conference season. It was nice to. It was nice to win 3-0. It didn't feel like 3-0. I thought it was a lot tighter than that, but it was nice to win that and then just be able to get back on the road.
Of course, as you came back Saturday, as we go to the highlights again, playing at Grand Valley, and another tough place to play, and another match that certainly went to the wire.
Yeah, it was. It's just a great, 2 really good teams this weekend. Both teams, everybody playing well. Grand Valley had made some changes in their lineup, and definitely. They played with a lot more energy with those changes that they made, and it was, I thought it was fun because, both teams are kind of West Michigan-y, and there's just a lot of people at the game, and pretty exciting and fun environment. So we definitely loved that. Would have preferred to come out on top in the 5th set, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
I know we talked about how challenging it was to face a team for the second time in a year, and you certainly know Grand Valley well. Played them, I think, 4 times last year. How hard does that make it to really find each other's weaknesses?
You know each other so well, and you're a lot of the same kids year after year, and so you just and obviously teams get better and players get better, but there's just that there's just such a familiarity, and you really just know how to pick apart players, and it just makes it a different kind of game than you see maybe in your early season when you're playing teams you don't see as much, or even in the postseason sometimes when you see teams that are from different conferences.
They obviously came back here in the second set. Maybe talk about what you guys didn't do maybe as well in the second set.
We did not pass serves. I think we got ace like 8 times in that set. Like, it was just, we just really came out flat, and they came out, charging, and it was definitely in this third set. It's back and forth, but then just right at the end of the game, we just kind of we gave up 4 points really, really fast in kind of crazy ways. So not super excited about that. But then, you know, like these are two really good teams playing each other, and in the third set we come back and we're able to, you know, do the same kind of thing back to them.
Of course, Haley Wigner, your setter, not only had a big week in there, but as we see a block right here, she had a big week with 14 blocks on the weekend.
Yeah, she's working to improve her game every day. And she really sees herself as a really good volleyball player, not just a setter. So she's working to improve all parts of her game every day. Yeah, it's fun to coach her for sure.
Of course, here as we go into the fifth set, every point critical in a set like this that it goes to 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we started on 4. I think it was 4-0 maybe, or 4-1, something like that. 5-1. You know, when you give away a lead like that, it's really hard to come back from that in a fifth set.
Of course, still 4 big matches left here in the regular season. They're all going to be important, and certainly going to the UP, not an easy test here this weekend.
You know, this team though loves to travel, so they play well on the road, and you know there'll be great crowds. We know on the road, both of these teams this weekend in the UP. You know, their fan base comes out, and we're excited about that because we like a big crowd. We play well on the road. We like to travel. Like the team just enjoys spending time together. So it's really good for our team chemistry to get on the bus and go drive over the bridge.
Of course, at Northern Michigan on Friday, at Michigan Tech on Saturday, and I know the growth still important here, even as you get later in the year to continue that progress each and every day.
Yeah, we are. You know, we've been that 5% better team all season, and we still are. Like there are things today that we know that we can get a lot better, and some changes that we can make and things that we're doing. So, you know, we can, you know, just be a better team. You know, we look at it like, you know, we have 2 more weeks in the regular season, and we think that we can get, you know, a pretty good chunk better.
Of course, we saw the 2 teams this past weekend. We'll see the 2 UP teams this week. Just how competitive has the conference been here from top to bottom this season?
Yeah, I think it's been really competitive, and there's just a lot of teams right there in that top, you know, 5-6 spots that are just all, you know, kind of beating up on each other. So I think that part has been interesting and fun, and, you know, keep you staying up late figuring things out.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. Best
Thanks.
of luck here as you travel to Northern Michigan and Michigan Tech here this weekend.
Thanks so much.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.